Let's go. Woke up like I'm on a mission, I'm 007. The teacher is back, so get ready, cause class is in session. Everyone listen up, this ain't a test but a lesson. Everyone listen up, this ain't a test but a lesson. Now it's so crazy. Y'all pay attention, it's a couple dudes that I'm about to mention. No kin to me, no friend to me, no enemies, but literally. Sometimes I just wanna go berserk. What's up, ladies and gentlemen out there in TV land? This is All Hip Hop, and I'm your host, Exodus Swift. All right, on this show, we talk about everything that's relevant to hip hop, up and coming artists, everything that has to do with the culture. I got a very special guest with me, somebody that goes back a long time with me. You can go on and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Andre Cranford, better known as Apostle Andre Cranford. Received my doctorate. I could be Dr. Andre Cranford. Been pastoring for a long time. I'll be Pastor Andre Cranford. Or you can just call me Andre. How you doing, Exodus Swift, man? I'm so good. Look at all this, man. We're on a ride, man. Now we're here.
Go back a long way.
Yeah, long way. And I want to say, just straight off the bat, I am so proud of you. You looking wonderful. You got your wife over there, and I wish they had a live camera to pan over to. She just so pretty. You keeping her nice and pretty. She ain't all run down. Just a beautiful. She look young, man. It's a testimony to how well you doing and how your wife look. I mean, she looking wonderful, man. It's just wonderful. Exodus Swift. Just explain to me right quick, because I be done called you your other name. Exodus Swift. Explain the name right quick.
All right, I was searching for a name. I didn't want to use my own name back from when I signed before. So
Right.
I basically went to the Bible, Genesis, Exodus,
Right.
and so on and so on. And Exodus happens to be one of my favorite verses from the Bible.
Yeah.
So the story of Moses, with what he was doing, I was just trying to do it swiftly, quickly.
Yeah.
So,
I got it, man. Exodus, get out quick. There's some places I've been in. I wanted to get out quick, real quick. Hallelujah. But this ain't one of the places. This show is awesome, man. Let's go. Awesome sauce.
All right.
I brought my son with me too, because I know it's hip hop, all hip hop, and my son is really into hip hop, but he's in the gospel hip hop, and he has. As a matter of fact, I had one guy, because at our church, Back to Life Deliverance Center, that's the church that I pastor. We have actually rap nights where gospel artists come in and rap, and I'll set my son up, who's also an excellent guitarist and musician all the way around.
Yeah,
but
he
one
is.
guy got up after him. He said, "Your son, they need to call a doctor, call the hospital, because his lyrics is sick." So we might let him freestyle here. But I know we got a little bit of time. Come on, give it to me, man. What's going on?
All right, so the topic I wanted to talk about is hip hop in the church.
Yeah.
Now, with your ministry, do you feel that how do you feel hip hop can reach the youth with your ministry?
Well, see, that's the thing, and I think this will get into another question that we're talking about. But you're talking about hip hop in the church, and if we're talking about hip hop, the art form or the expression or the rap, the lyrics, that type of thing, then you know what I'm saying, it's no different than any other tool we use to reach souls, we use to reach people, etc. You know what I'm saying? The lyrics, the gospel put to lyrics. You know what I'm saying, will have the same effect as the gospel without lyrics. It's the gospel that changes people's lives. I'm a big proponent of the gospel getting out to people. I believe it does just what Jesus said it would do. It would save people. It'll heal people. And we've seen it done. So whether it's encased in lyrics or in music or, over a mic or whispered in ears, or brought to people as you sit down on their living room floor with their kids all around. You see what I mean? The gospel works. I've seen it work, and it's very potent and powerful, whatever format it's put in. You know what I'm saying?
I think the church need to use more of it, because it's a culture. It's more than a culture. It's what kids is listening to. They got it on their iPods, their phones, everything. But what they're listening to is not truth. When you got hip hop artists in the church doing it, everything you're hearing is truth. So I think that's the main way the church can use it. Like, I'm a big fan of your Friday nights. I catch them on Facebook. I've seen them. So I know how turned up y'all get.
Hey, we party hard, man. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? The bottom line is, We feel like, I mean, and it's been Sunday night lives and Friday night lives where we'll just be rocking for hours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're not intimidated. But it's more than just an art form. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's more than just an art form. It's really a heart that even when you said the kids, the young people, I mean, hip hop has been out for a while, so we
Yeah.
can't even limit it to, you know what I'm saying, teenagers and young people. You got people 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. You know what I'm saying? I saw an old man with a cane looking hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's really been going on for a long time, and you know,
Yeah.
I understand that back. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop, hippity hippity, the doom dum wang dang boogity bee. That was like the late '70s, man. You know what I'm saying? And I grew up looking at, you know, Run DMC and LL Cool J and you know
I
what I'm
did
saying?
too.
All
Yeah.
that stuff. So don't get me wrong. It's not just for young people. It's a people, you know, expression. But here it is now. You know what I'm saying? Anything that Satan gets into, he can pervert. He can mess up, and you know, whether it's hip hop or blues or whatever it is, we, you know what I'm saying, minister to people who come from all walks of life. They come out of homosexuality, lesbianism, drug addiction, drug abuse, you know what I'm saying, being abused themselves as kids, whatever. But really what's born out of the Sunday night lives and the Friday night lives, and you see all that rocking and turn up, it's not just the music that's driving it. It's a heart for God. It's a heart that's
Yeah.
grateful that they've been changed. And any way that they want to express it, we let them express it, be it poetry, dance, or hip hop and rap.
Yeah. I agree with that because it's like something got to be done. Is there got to be a change? You got a lot of hip hop artists out here. The stuff they doing is kind of poison. And when a person get affected by it, it's like, okay, where's the antidote?
Yeah, yeah. But remember, here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I know we're trying to guide by your little iPad, but we just talking because, you know, we talk, we go way back. We
We
talk.
off script now.
Yeah, yeah. But here's the thing, man. When you talk about, you know, a lot of hip hop artists, you know, they're spreading poison. It's because poison is in their heart, you know,
Yeah.
and
I
they
agree.
have not come to grips with, you know, their quote unquote demons, as it relates to what's happened in their past, you know, their relationships with their family, etc. They really don't have a lot of peace in their heart, and whatever, you know, Jesus said, out of the abundance of the heart, or what's really abundantly in your heart, what's the overflow of your heart, it's gonna come out your mouth. And it's
Yeah.
gonna come out your lyrics, it's gonna come out your life, etc. You know what I'm saying? Your conflicts. You find guys like, you know, I hate to say names, but you find them fighting, you know what I'm saying, getting taken to jail. You find guys that can't pay their child support, so they ain't got no license, even though they're at the top of the game, they can't go out of the country. You know what I'm saying? But the conflicts, it starts in your heart. If you can get your heart at peace, and you know, I'm a preacher, so you know I'm gonna say get your heart at peace with God, you know what I'm saying, with Jesus Christ, then it's gonna come out in everything you do, not just your music, but your life, how you relate to your kids, etc. I saw a hip hop artist, you know what I'm saying, they were having like I guess an intervention with him and his oldest kid or whatever, and his son was really upset. But you got to understand, if there's poison in, poison gonna come out.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to raise your kids, relate to your wife, love people around. There's always going to be conflict. And so the hip hop artist needs to really get peace within. And peace within and joy within will translate to joy without, and even in the music. The overwhelming sense at our Friday Night Lives and our hip hop artists, you know, when they come in, there's such a joy.
I've
At,
seen it.
yeah, at being picked out of all these guys, perhaps that I died with, that I used to gang bang with or whatever, that God picked me out and rescued me. And I'm just grateful, and I want to praise him with my life and my music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm sorry we off script. We can get back on.
No, we ain't got to. You said you hate to say names,
But I know you a name caller. See, look at that, man.
but I don't.
Yeah,
I've seen that same intervention.
yeah, yeah,
Now it was DMX
yeah.
and his son.
Now,
His
see,
son,
uh-huh.
DMX needs to. He needs the church. He needs
Yeah,
some of that church
yeah,
music in him.
yeah,
Because anytime your flesh and blood son that you raise give
yeah,
you an ultimatum of put down the drugs or I'm leaving your life, and
yeah,
you choose drugs,
yeah, yeah.
there's something going on there.
Yeah, but you know, I'm a songwriter as well, And you know what I'm saying, music is big in our family. My wife is a recording artist. I'm a
Yeah, we're just gonna
producer.
bring that up
You know what I'm
too.
saying, my kids and everybody, music is just, we love music. We love to sing, dance, all that stuff. And I have a church full of gifted people. But everything translates for me from that Bible. You know what I'm saying? From either it's direct scriptures down to the spirit of what's being said. You know what I'm saying? I wrote a song called "My Times Are in Your Hands," and we've been on a consecrated study of the life of David. And David wrote many psalms, and one of his concepts was, God, okay, I don't know what to do, but my times are in your hands. Whatever wherever you deal to me, whether good or bad, I understand that you got control over. My lyrics come from that. Fred Hammond called it the pages of life. And
Yeah,
so, what I'm saying, whatever music we do, it's hard to just get away from life, the life that's found in that book. I find life in that book. And so, my point is, DMX, it's not just church music that we need to get in him, but the words from those
yeah,
pages. David said something very profound. He said, Lord, I put your word in my heart so I wouldn't mess up and sin against you. And so those words in my heart translates to the peace that I find in those pages in my life. And I think that's important for every walk of life, every generation. It's a book. The Bible is a book that's been much hated. It's probably on the most hated list as well as the most loved list. You know what I'm saying? But I found life in it, and I think that's what needs to translate to his life. Now, you had shot me a question before we got here. My wife read off. Shout out to my wife. I love you, baby. I
she
love you.
has an album
I love you.
in stores. The name of the album
The name of the
is
album is #1, number one. That God is first place in her life, and it's a wonderful album, doing well across the country. Go to
available
YouTube,
everywhere. Go on and get it.
everywhere.
It's hot.
But
It's worth it.
you shot me something, Mr. Swift, Mr. Get Out Quick, uh, about the culture of hip hop. Could you shoot me that again? I don't know
Okay, let
exactly
me
what you
find
like.
that.
How do we something about the culture of hip hop? And I really was looking forward to dealing with that.
Okay, yeah, because we was off script
Yeah.
for a
Okay.
minute there.
Because we only got 30 minutes.
All right, hip hop is more than just music. It is also what a lot of people feel is a way of life. It's a culture. It's a form of expression.
Yeah.
How should the church teach not just the youth, but all hip hop lovers, that this way of life can be used to uplift one another?
Okay. Now, what I'm saying, the hip hop culture, as we see it, and as it's propagated and all across media, magazines, videos, BET, and all this stuff, as it is corrupt.
Yeah,
It's very corrupt, very violent. Its history is very violent, always has been. It's sick.
yeah,
You look at, I don't have to go back to Biggie and Tupac to find the violence and the corruption, but you can look at, there's some, since we're calling names, African Bambaataa, who is just coming out that he was, abusing and molesting boys for years. It has come out now. He's been, just filthy, a filthy culture, infiltrated by, even at the basis levels to the top of homosexuality, of lesbianism, of illicit sex. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna be me. You invited me, I'm gonna be me. But now we have to understand that within the hip hop culture, anything that Christianity gets into, Christianity is not just a culture or a subculture, it's a counterculture.
yeah,
It's a culture that goes against whatever the culture is. It goes the other way,
yeah,
and it is very powerful. Jesus gave a example of, he said, a little leaven leavens the whole lump. In other words, your grandma didn't have to put a cup of leaven in there for it to rise. Just a little bit made her bread rise. And so Christianity is just that potent. And we see Christianity inserted into the Roman Empire caused a change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until the emperor Constantine became a Christian.
Yeah.
So whenever true Christianity is inserted into a culture, it will cause a change. And so for us to really talk about hip hop culture and Christianity, Christians have to recognize that we are a counterculture. We are not obligated to behave ourselves in the way that they do. We're not obligated to beat our wives as they do, or cheat on our wives as they do, or to remain unmarried or whatever. If we get in there and we start a counterculture, then it will be highly effective. You know what I'm saying? And so they go left, we go right. They do this, we do that. You understand what I'm saying? While, you know what I'm saying, keeping the musical expression there, we express ourselves in a way that pleases our king. Christianity is about a kingdom, the kingdom of God. And if we're going to be, you know what I'm saying, successful in whatever culture we find ourselves in, we have to keep that principle. Matthew 6:33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these other things will be added. And so I think it's a question of priority. Do I prioritize the hip hop culture above the Christian counterculture? What is most important? And when we have the counterculture of Christianity more important, then we can affect hip hop culture. And culture and icons and celebrities are being affected at the highest levels. I was just looking at the other day at Justin Bieber. You know what I'm saying? He's now, claiming Christianity and
Yeah, I
whatnot,
saw.
and just various people. It's being affected. It may not look like we want it to look right now, but if you look at history down through the years, Apostle Paul would have rather preached to rich Romans than poor whatever, because he understood, not that he was prejudiced, but he understood that if you're really going to change a culture, you have to preach to the people at the top of it. You have to affect them. You have to
Yeah.
reach kings and
Yeah.
mayors and presidents. You know what I'm saying? And so that's my take on that.
With me, at first it was because I wasn't always in the church. So at first it was a pull.
And I think that's very powerful because, I think, when you were coming to our church, you know what I'm saying, there was, you had incidents with guns, and it was
Yeah.
really a struggle to come out. I
It
mean,
was.
you had to throw a gun in a dumpster one time. You was on your way somewhere.
Yeah, it was. Uh, I look at the hip hop artists now, when the things they rap about, it's like, okay, if what you saying you really did,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be glorifying it for kids
Yeah,
to
come on.
go out and do the same. I've been there.
Yeah.
I'm not finna glorify nothing I did for no 13, 14, 15-year-old to go out, do the same thing, end up in the same situation I was in.
Yeah. It's
That's,
like a fantasy versus reality.
yeah,
And what those artists are selling is a fantasy, or glorifying something that was really hard. And now, because it's interesting to see you now, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to then, and me having to sit with you and talk things out and have you think things out. But you were also a young father. Now you've been a father for, about 8, 10 more years, you know what I'm saying? And you have a different perspective now because you have
yep,
children. And it's like, at first, you know what I'm saying, it was a struggle because you're pushing something with no thought of the children. I had to kind of pull you to think of your children, think of your wife. But now, all these years later, it's like it's a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? It
yeah.
makes sense to you.
Before, when stuff would happen, it was go so and so, whoop de whoop. You stopped that
Yeah,
and you helped me out. If it wasn't for you talking to me, a lot of times I wouldn't even be here. I'd be in prison,
that's so.
serving some life sentence somewhere.
To God be the glory.
So it's like it's like they made it out,
Yeah,
but they want people to go back and do the same thing they did, or just listen to what they did and give them praise for what they did if they did it.
at all.
Yeah, because I don't believe a lot of them. It's like, okay, they rap about catching gun charges and they felons, but they don't. They do 2 days and 3 hours. it's, it's like, come on now. I already know the routine.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it's, it's
yeah,
not true at all. So
yeah. But how will they sell records if they
that
don't propagate the fantasy?
whilst the truth so kicked under the rug in a false purchase.
Because the truth, you said that before, you hit truth, and we're back here again, because the truth, you know what I'm saying, Jesus said you'll know the truth and the truth will make you free. But watch this, it's only the truth that you know. which means ignorance permeates more bondage. And you know what I'm saying, bound people are controllable people. And so I can't control a free man. If I'm going to control a person, they have to continue to be bound. And if they're going to continue to be bound, I'm going to have to continue to have them live out a lie. See, it's the truth you know that makes you free. And once a person realizes that I don't have to be down and I don't have to glorify the hood and ignorance is not a good thing and walking around mad at everybody just makes me a horrible person to be around. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Once it really settles in, there's going to be a change. It's going to be a transition. And when you get people changed, they don't want to listen to your depressed stuff. They don't want to listen to how you shot this one, I off this one, and I'll take it to. Don't nobody want to hear that, man. I want to hear sunshine because that's where I am right now. My life is good. You know what I'm saying? I love my wife. I don't need you to tell me about all, you know what I'm saying, excuse me, but all the holes down on, you know what I'm saying? I need you to tell me how you took a hoe and they met Lee and now instead of being hoe, she holy. That's what I need to know. I don't need to know all this stuff. I need to know, you know what I'm saying, I love my wife, I love my kids, you know what I'm saying, I'm proud of my son. My son is gonna be better than me. That's what I need to know. I don't need to know, you know what I'm saying, I'm sorry, let's throw out another name. Mr. Jay-Z, you are 50, sir. I
Yes.
need to know about your
Stop it.
grandkids, not your kids. What is going
Stop
on,
it.
sir?
Stop it.
Let,
Yes.
let's
He
just be
needs to.
real.
No, not you. I'm saying he needs to
Man,
stop
sit
it.
down, man.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
somewhere.
I don't get no joy
Nursing
out
home
of 50 years
immediately.
old and 60 years old, and you still living the player's life. What is that? You still fighting and having, you know, I
Yeah.
don't need to have no,
It's-
you know, hash outs and, you know what I'm saying, my wife's sister beating me in a elevator because I'm hanging out late at 2 or 3. That's foolishness, man. That
Yes.
is
The
kindergarten
only
stuff.
beef you should have in your 50s should be on the in between hamburger buns.
Yes, sir.
It shouldn't be,
Yes,
yo, we
sir.
finna get in the
Some
limos.
filet
And
mignon on and some. You don't need that. That's a dumb stuff, man.
It's-
You need somebody around there. By the time I'm 55, 60, I want my kids to be bringing my grandkids talking about Paul, you know, grandpa. You know what I'm saying? This is just full. It's like a perpetual, you know, bachelorhood. It's dumb. It's as dumb as Hugh Hefner on them little blue pills, man. It's just ridiculous. And Viagra. Listen, it's out of order. I'm sorry. You invited me. It's out of order. The whole society and the culture is out of order. You got Hugh Hefner with 5 girlfriends, and he can't hardly get it up unless he got a Viagra pill. And then, you know what I'm saying, you got Jay-Z, he 50. You know, I mean, come on. This is out of order. It's crazy. It's nuts. And it's all happening right here on All Hip Hop with my
Unscripted.
man Exodus Swift. Get out of here quick.
unscripted. I don't
What?
even. I don't know what to ask you next.
Look, man. You know.
I got a mental
listen,
picture in my head of Hugh Hefner now. It's gonna be there for a quick minute now.
my operating deliverance to come out. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you know, I don't have, you know, the traditional viewpoints of a lot of pastors. I preach my church out in the street. I was, you know, under a tent preaching to, you know, pimps and prostitutes and drug dealers. And, you know, I'm serious about what I do. Everybody don't agree with me, but, you know, I'm authentic, you know.
I agree with
real.
that. I was gonna say that too. When I was looking for a church, it was years ago. I ain't gonna say my age. When I was looking for a church, I was going through some stuff, and I was kind of struggling with being a positive person, far as pull back to being a negative person, and I was looking for guidance. I was looking for a spiritual father, somebody to help me, somebody to help teach me the words, pull me out of situations when all I heard was "go get 'em." Now, where I was raised at, the people who I grew up with, that was the mentality that was taught to me. It was just go get 'em. I've been to a lot of churches, a lot of pastors. They talked to me, but I didn't feel what they were saying was true and somewhat. But it's only been you that can deliver the message with truth, and you got passion to it. So that's when you sit there and listen. Like if it's a drug addict, and I say, "Hey, stay off drugs. They'll kill you. They're gonna be like, all right, I hear you. But if it's somebody who's like, I've been there, I know what you're going through.
Yeah.
They're gonna sit and listen. So
Hey, when you came up when he came up to the front, and we only got 5 minutes left. When he came up to the front of the church, he probably had almost as many tats as he have now, and he walked up, and people would only look at you and say and see the outside. But when you came up and you came up for prayer, you know what I'm saying? I just took my arms, I just wrapped them around you. You know what I'm saying? I saw somebody that was, you know what I'm saying, that needed love and genuine love. You know what I'm saying? Somebody you they didn't need somebody trying to get over on them, and that's what I gave to you because that's what was given to me. You know what I'm saying? And so, um, we just love you today, and we love what you're doing. I love what you're doing. It makes me feel good. It lets me know that my time wasn't wasted. You know what I'm
no, it
saying?
wasn't.
And to see you being successful in doing this, it's just a joy today. I usually don't come out on Mondays. Today is Monday for you rerun people, and Sunday is a big day for preachers, and I just preach my heart out. We have 3 locations, and I preach my heart out. But for you, I came out because anything you do, what I'm saying, I want to be supportive in
I
because the
appreciate
Lord
that.
has brought you a long way. Hey, what I'm saying, can I give a shout out?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Hey,
that. Church locations, events you got coming up.
Back to Life Deliverance Center is a place where you can get experience worship, warfare, and a word that'll bring you back to life. And in Detroit, we're located at 2300 South Schaefer Highway. 2300 South Schaefer Highway. Come soon because we're getting ready to move soon because we're so packed we can't stay there no longer. But 2300 South Schaefer Highway. Come, 11 o'clock on Sundays. And it's something going on every day. Just come and be a part, all right? Love you.
And you forgot to mention your wife's album again.
Hey, that's Stacy Cranford. Stacy Cranford, Stacye, Cranford, Cranford. You look up on YouTube, on Amazon, iTunes, and all that other stuff you young people be looking into. Hashtag one, number one. That's the album.
That's the album. It's worth getting. I've listened to it more than once. And we've been off script this whole interview. So when I say off script, why do I still have Hugh Hefner in my head? Okay. Um, I need to get that out of there
Yeah.
quick.
Your wife is looking at you like, yes. Ugh.
I'm not even going to look in that direction right now. All right.
This has been a great interview, though, man.
It's
We went
right
off
there.
script, but it's been a
right
great
there.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Swatted like a fly.
All right. Y'all can follow me on Facebook
Yeah.
at official Exodus Swift, on Twitter at Real Exodus Swift, and on Instagram at Exodus Swift. And for updates to new show times, go to exodusswift.com. It's still there.
Hey, while they talking, hey, so you can look us up at b2lonline.org. That's B, the number 2, the letter L, online.org on the internet. Or look up our Facebook page as well, Back to Life Deliverance Center on Facebook. All right? Good. Love y'all. Man, I woke up light.